Am I live? Welcome back to Pills, Potions, and Poisons with me, NAllenRx. I'm a pharmacist. But I'm not here in a professional capacity. However, hopefully y'all can hear me and see me and give me a good in the chat whenever y'all start to fall up in here. But I'm not here in a professional capacity. However, I do have expert level knowledge and information that I can share with you guys. But there's always one thing I need you guys to keep in mind. What's that, Anna? I'm not your pharmacist. I'm not your pharmacist. I'm not your pharmacist. So tonight, we are talking about Gene Hackman. What about him? Passed away. He passed away. 95 years old. Him and his wife and one of their pets was found at their home by a caretaker, February 26, 2025, just a couple weeks ago. A 911 call was made. After getting to the home, he was found collapsed in the mudroom, and his wife was in, I think, in a bathroom with pills scattered around her nearby. That's what they said. So what is the setting? What is the setting of tonight's episode? It is, of course, their home in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's our 5th grade lesson. Santa Fe is known as the what? New Mexico is known as the what state? Yeah, I know I gotta look down, so I gotta cheat a little bit. It's known as the land of enchantment. I like that. I like it. We got a lot of culture out there. I've been through that time or two, But, tonight we're not talking about that. We're talking about Gene Hackman. All right, so who is he? Some 95-year-old actor. He was in a lot of Western movies. He was in what? I don't know, A Time to Kill. Some other movie he was in with Morgan Freeman. The Unforgiven. Now that was a good movie. Now, have y'all seen it? As you enter, please engage with the poll. I'm not gonna be here on that long, y'all. And I gotta go pick my roommate up from Acro tonight, so I ain't gonna be on here that long. But I did want to go ahead and tap into this, just weigh in and give y'all my opinion on it. Have y'all ever heard of this Hantavirus? I was like, what is that? What do you get? What do they be getting from ticks? That's what I thought it was when I first heard it. I'm like, oh no, this ain't what this is. And they was like, Hantavirus. I said, let me look this up. Because, I don't just stay out here not knowing. And y'all should do this too. Be curious. Like when you hear things like that you don't know, then you need to, look into it, figure out what it is. Because, you never know. I have a lot of useless information. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. But anyway, so they first there was a lot of different, theories about what happened. They died a week apart. What? Was it like I don't know what I can say. Y'all know I'm still trying to censor myself for social media. Ending of one's life and then ending of their own life, that type of situation. People be thinking that. This was his second wife. But, they still been together like 20, 30 years. This man's 95 years old. He has lived a life, okay? So it's like, okay, one of them passed away and the other one couldn't make it without him. Then they started saying, we got these pills. They try to throw us off with all that. We got these medications. These pills were all around her. Diltiazem and thyroid medication. You ain't gonna get nothing done with them, okay? Tearing something up in here. Okay, so we're going to look at the press conference. Is that what it was? And we're going to see what the police officers had to say. The medical examiner also, which, because this wasn't like a homicide or something, I guess, something that really needed investigating, but because he's a high-profile actor, personality, and how, the bodies were found, people want to know. So we need to hear from the expert on this. What y'all think? If you're in the chat, give me something in the chat. I need to pull the chat up where I can see what I'm talking about. Start getting in the chat. So we all need to know what happened. So we're gonna look at that. And when I read about what this Hantavirus was and how people get, how you die from it, I was like, this. It's no wonder a bunch of hoarders don't lose their lives to this kind of stuff. Do y'all used to watch Hoarders? They used to come out. What station was Hoarders coming on? I don't know. Oh, the lead attorney. Hey, lead attorney. What movie I was talking about? He was in that great movie. What is that the one? Is it Unforgiven? Is that the one that he was in with Denzel? Because that movie was good. Like, I might watch it again tonight. Okay. So yes, he was in that movie. When I heard about how people get this Hantavirus, I was like, they have a lot of square footage out there, okay, in New Mexico. Thank you, lead attorney. And hey, lead attorney. Welcome back to Pills, Potions, and Pills Weekly in NAllenRx. Yes. Thank you, lead attorney. I was like, oh my goodness, now, are they keeping this house up? Because the people who found it were caretakers, but were they the cleaning ladies and men and gentlemen? Who knows? And it's like, we got rodent, aka mice, deer mice, these types of animals and rodents, the feces, the saliva, the waste, the urine, Oh, yes! Crimson Tide! I saw that. Oh, yes. That was good. Yes. That was a good movie. I wonder why he hadn't been talking about that. Yes, Denzel did his good work up in that movie, and so did our guy here, GENE HACKMAN. Oh, you hated to love him in that movie. That one was good. I'm going to say, did he win an Oscar? I think he won Oscars for some movies. I don't know. But Unforgiven and A Time to Kill. Not A Time to Kill. Was he in that too? I don't know. Maybe I know a little bit more about this man than I thought I knew. Okay. Shout out to me. Okay, y'all. So let's get into it. Let's get into this press conference. Okay. Let's see here. I don't know. I would be messing around with all this other stuff I was trying to do, like last time, but I don't have a whole lot of time today. Okay. Oh shoot! What did I do? All right. Let's share the screen. Okay. Here we go. Y'all see that? Why y'all attitude buddy acting like that? All right. All right, guys. Let's listen up. I already started watching it. Okay. Let me know if we have sound.
You're going to hear from investigators from not only the sheriff's office, the medical investigator's office, and the fire department. As you can see behind me, you have Sheriff Adam there walking out, about to take the podium. It's been 9 days since those bodies have been found in their Santa Fe home, the couple. And I'm going to step out of the way so we can listen to the sheriff as he gets underway here with this press conference.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheriff Adan Mendoza, Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office. With me today is Dr. Heather Giral, Chief Medical Investigator for the New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator. Dr. Aaron Phipps, New Mexico State Public Health Veterinarian, New Mexico Department of...
Okay, so I just want to say something too about this. So they also had to have the vet out there. So I didn't know this. This is one of the type of jobs that our president trying to get rid of. You got a public health person for animals, but these veterinarians, they must be jacks of all trades because they dealing with all kind of animals. Human species it's just one, the humans. But you got how do they do it? I don't know about these vets. I'm kind of curious about them now. Do they have a specialty? Do they deal with all we got canine, we got feline? I don't know no other names other than that, those two. But the ones that deal with horses, they deal with birds. How does that work, vets? Y'all get in here. Y'all need to start some YouTube channels so we can know more about y'all's profession. Because now I'm interested at this point. So we have a different doctor, right? We have a medical examiner that does, you know, autopsies and things of that nature, right? Give us cause of death. But the vet, is she just the vet, or does she have to go into some kind of specialty? But I imagine that all the vets could do it because they do be putting animals down, like, don't they? Okay, let me get back to it. Let's get to it. Let's listen.
Health, and also Chief Brian Moya, Santa Fe City Fire Department. This investigation started on February 26th with the discovery of Mr. Hackman and Miss Arakawa and their dog at their residence. I just want to do a short recap and then touch on some new information. As we know, both individuals tested negative for carbon monoxide. City Fire conducted tests and deemed scene safe for deputies to conduct their investigation. The preliminary pacemaker interrogation results were released last week, and I'll let Dr. Giral touch more specifically on those results. The gas company New Mexico, they also did an analysis of the residence, and they found one minor leak in a single burner on the kitchen stove, which was 0.33% of room air, which was pretty minute and insignificant. Since that time, Xena, the deceased dog, has been taken for necropsy at the Veterinary Diagnostic Services, and we'll be awaiting those results.
Wow.
Let's speak a little bit in reference to the timeline for Betsy Arakawa. We know from our investigation that on February 9th, 2025, she picked up Xena from Gruta Veterinary Hospital. There was a procedure that was done with the dog, which may explain why the dog was in a crate at the residence. Let's move on to February 11th, 2025. Mrs. Arakawa had an email conversation with her massage therapist at about 11:21 a.m. Moving on into the afternoon, Miss Arakawa was at the Sprouts Farmers Market between 3:30 and 4:15 p.m. Miss Arakawa was seen on surveillance video at the CVS pharmacy in Santa Fe from 4:12 to 4:20 p.m.
Yeah, I love CVS. Every time they always be at CVS. Only person that won at CVS was Prince. The rest of y'all love CVS. You would think CVS getting all kind of business that they ain't getting. So she went to CVS. She probably was getting a pet med though, but Walmart usually do more than them.
She then stopped at a local pet food store at about 4:54 p.m. Her car was seen on surveillance, and the remote control clicker that is assigned to her and her vehicle was used to enter the subdivision to gain access to the gated community at 5:15 p.m. Numerous emails were unopened on her computer on February 11th. There was no additional outgoing communication.
Is that like a confirmation that she could have been already gone because the emails weren't unopened? I didn't think that was a good, because I have thousands of emails that are unopened.
From her or known activity after February 11th, 2025. The cell phone information and the cell phone data is pending. We're working with state police to get the information from those phones, but our investigation shows that all the last known communication and activity from Ms. Arakawa was on February 11th. I'm going to go ahead and turn over the podium to Dr. Gerald. I would ask that everybody refrain from asking questions until everybody has provided their statements. I'll step up to the podium, and then we'll go ahead and field questions from the media. Thank you.
Good job.
Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Heather Gerald, the Chief Medical Examiner for New Mexico at the Office of the Medical Investigator. I'd like to begin by stating that it is unprecedented for the Office of the Medical Investigator to make public statements about death investigations. However, the circumstances surrounding these two deaths require accurate dissemination of important information. I've also spoken with the Hackman family prior to this conference, who are aware of the autopsy findings and conclusions and are aware of this conference. On Thursday, February 27th, I performed an autopsy on Mr. GENE HACKMAN. Medical examiner Dr. Daniel Gallego at the Office of the Medical Investigator performed a full autopsy on Miss Betsy Arakawa Hackman, also on Thursday, February 27th. By report, Miss Arakawa Hackman's legal name is Betsy Hackman, which is how she will be referred to hereafter. The cause of death for Miss Betsy Hackman, aged 65 years, is Hantavirus Pulmonary Syndrome. The manner of death is natural. Autopsy examination and full body postmortem CT demonstrated no findings of trauma internally or externally, with microscopic findings consistent with Hantavirus Pulmonary Syndrome. Laboratory testing was positive for hantavirus at a clinical lab, with required confirmation testing positive at Scientific Laboratories Division. Testing for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses was negative.
Did y'all test for RSV? Because she is 65. Just so y'all know, here your pharmacy moment. Y'all need to be getting, they need to be getting their pneumonia vaccine. It's people still trying to get the flu vaccine right now. Okay, whatever. And RSV. So when she said other respiratory situations, she's probably talking about RSV. What else we got going around right now? What was I just talking about? Oh, that was measles. Never mind. Check out my last stream for that. And all these airborne viruses, y'all. How do you get this hantavirus? First of all, you got to be around some rodent waste, and you're inhaling it, or they say direct contact. I doubt it that a lot of people getting it, like, you know, touching it, getting it put on their food or something. It's like that. I shouldn't say that. Maybe want to throw up. But inhaling the particles just in the air. It's like, is this pollen? This rat poop? Like, how does it get in the air? Like, maybe it's in the vents and stuff. Y'all.
Testing for carbon monoxide was negative.
Okay.
There were no other significant natural disease findings. Pills present on...
This is a sidebar. This lady right here, y'all probably can't see it. Her, the veterinarian, she over there. I be over there nodding and agreeing like that. Like the whole while this other lady talking, she's like, yeah, like that's right. Good, It's like you got to give people some kind of feedback. I be feeling like it's a little encouragement. Okay, I will be doing just like a
at Scientific Laboratories Division. Testing for COVID-19,
I went back
influenza, and other common respiratory viruses was negative. Testing for carbon monoxide was negative. There were no other significant natural disease findings. Pills present on scene were thyroid medication, which were being taken as prescribed and is not currently a concern for a contributory cause of death.
Another pharmacy moment. You ain't gonna hardly die too much off thyroid medication. I'm just telling you. You can take they don't really, they do what they're supposed to do and that's it. They don't interact with a whole lot. They don't do it. Like thyroid medication, they all right. They're pretty clean.
The cause of death for Mr. GENE HACKMAN, aged 95 years, is hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease.
That's the plaque, like the cholesterol.
With Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributory factor. Autopsy examination and a full body postmortem CT examination demonstrated no acute findings of internal or external trauma, and showed severe heart disease, including multiple surgical procedures involving the heart, evidence of prior heart attacks, and severe changes of the kidneys due to chronic high blood pressure.
Yep.
Examination of the brain showed advanced Alzheimer's disease, as well as blood vessel changes in the brain secondary to chronic high blood pressure.
Yep.
Laboratory testing performed at Scientific Laboratories Division was negative for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses. Testing for hantavirus was negative.
He didn't have
Testing
it.
for carbon monoxide was negative.
Mm.
Additionally, there were no autopsy findings concerning for hantavirus infection. I have been asked when death occurred for these individuals.
I'm wondering where she got it from then, because she got it, she had it, he didn't. Did she say she went to a farmer's market or somewhere? Or did she go to a pet store? Okay, so I was finna start some kind of mess, y'all. I'm gonna say this. I'm just pause for a second. I'm not gonna be here very long. I was like, what that house look like on the inside? That's where I was going next. I was going there. Cause I'm like, we got rodent feces, rodent waste, rodent saliva, whatever, direct contact. They got a hoarder situation up in there. I was about to go there. I was going there, but that's not even what he passed away. So when she was out moving around during the day, she probably got into something somewhere else, one of these other places she went to. I ain't gonna say CVS. I don't know. I ain't gonna do that though. We all might be needing a job in a minute. Okay, yeah. Let's get back to it.
There is no reliable scientific method to accurately determine the exact time or date of death. Mr. Hackman's initial pacemaker data revealed cardiac activity on February 17th, with subsequent pacemaker interrogation demonstrating an abnormal rhythm of atrial fibrillation on February 18th, which was the last record of heart activity. Based on this information, it is reasonable to conclude that Mr. Hackman probably died around February 18th. Based on the circumstances, it is reasonable to conclude that Ms. Hackman passed away first, with February 11th being the last time that she was known to be alive.
So with a lot of these, like the pacemaker, I would say, like if you have those freestyle, like those like the ones you tested without the blood that stay on, and these other meters, they hold a lot of memory, so you can use those to pretty much determine, like she said, like when he stopped, when he passed away. But with her, I guess she say you can't get a precise time. But if you got a pacemaker, I thought those things, the new ones, they shock them. I don't know. We'll see.
Lastly, clinically, hantavirus infection is characterized by flu-like symptoms consisting of fever, muscle aches, cough, sometimes vomiting and diarrhea that can progress to shortness of breath and cardiac or heart failure and lung failure.
To be honest, all the viruses look like influenza. Y'all know who influenza is, right? That's flu. All these same symptoms, because the measles sound just like that. All of them, they got fever. They got, flu type symptoms like you're coughing, you're sneezing, all this kind of stuff, y'all. We gotta be careful out here. And I guess still the number one, what is it? I don't know. Prevention, way to prevent the spread of germs is wash your hands. Wash them.
This occurs after a 1 to 8 week exposure to excrement from a primarily particular mouse species that carries hantavirus. The mortality of hantavirus, the mortality rate of the hantavirus strain in the Southwest is about 38 to 50%.
Dang!
The hantavirus strains in the United States are not transmissible from person to person.
Right.
And so this is an appropriate time.
Wow!
To segue to
Wait a minute. Did she say the mortality? I'm sorry. Did she say the mortality rate is 38 to 50% for what the strain that's in the South? Oh, now let me do that. Almost half the people that get this are gonna die. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. I never even heard of this. Make sure if you're coming into the chat, I see you guys are in and out of here, I guess. I'm thinking, I don't know. Go ahead and vote on the poll and hit the like or do something. Y'all know what I told y'all to do last time. Y'all need to do it. I can't see it on my side. So I won't know if you're doing it or not, but you should do it. Okay.
Health veterinarian with the New Mexico Department of Health. But before I do so, I'd like to kindly ask for everyone to please respect the privacy that Mr. Gene Hackman, Miss Betsy Hackman, and their family and friends deserve. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, you did good to say you don't talk all the time. This is
Thank you,
highly
Dr.
unusual.
Gerald.
Thank
I
you.
will now provide additional information about hantaviruses in New Mexico.
You seem like some good people.
There are many different types of hantaviruses found worldwide.
Mhm.
These viruses are zoonotic, meaning they are transmitted from animals to humans.
Okay.
Hantaviruses are carried by rodents.
Ooh.
The hantavirus found in New Mexico, the sin nombre virus,
Oh.
is found in meat, primarily in deer mice, but in other rodents as well.
The deer mice.
Hantavirus Pulmonary Syndrome is a rare disease caused by hantaviruses, but a small number of human infections are found every year in New Mexico. Over the past 5 years, New Mexico has confirmed between 1 and 7 hantavirus infections in humans each year.
Wow.
Through the end of
To be so rare, how lucky or unlucky for her to get, they said 1 and 7. How many? I forgot just that fast. Every year? It's like, that's not a lot. I mean, I guess it is a lot compared to 0, but how unlucky.
of 2024, we have identified 136 infections over the past 50 years in New Mexico residents.
50 years.
5 of these in Santa Fe County.
Mm.
This is a serious disease. 42% of these infections here in New Mexico were fatal. Most transmission occurs around the patient's residence or workplace, and the New Mexico Department of Health typically conducts an environmental investigation at the residence of all hantavirus cases in our jurisdiction. This can help identify specific areas that may pose higher risk, providing insight into where transmission may have occurred and how to prevent future infections.
This is another side note. I can't talk too much because I gotta go. I'm gonna let it play. I would have had ChatGPT write my speech. I would have had the information. Of course, I would know it. But to like put it together, and y'all would have been like, "Oh, she saw everything."
On March 5th, the New Mexico Department of Health staff conducted a risk assessment of the property, including the main residence, as well as other structures on the property. This was critically important to address concerns about health risks to first responders, as well as to inform any prevention measures needed to protect the family and other individuals. And
the way they talking about this, it sounds like mold. You know how they have to have these hazmat, these suits to go in certain places. It's like they had to check the residents to make sure it still wasn't just floating up in the air. Oh my God, this almost sounds bad as fentanyl. You don't want to be able, you don't want the other people that's coming in there, first responders, to come in contact with this stuff because it could still just be up in the air. This is, wow. Who knew this about some mouse virus? I was thinking New Mexico, enchanted land or whatever I said. I'm kind of starting to rethink
the property in the future. We assessed the risk of exposure in the primary residence as low, similar to other well-maintained houses in New Mexico. We did identify signs of rodent entry in other structures on the property and provided information and resources about reducing the risk of hantavirus transmission related to those areas. Hantavirus can be transmitted to people through rodent urine, droppings, or saliva, so it is important to...
That came straight from the CDC website. That's where I got it from too. Verbatim. You got to use your resources. That's a lot of about being, in certain professions, you don't have to memorize a lot of this stuff, even though over time you know it. You need to know where your resources are, though. You need to know how to
Take
use it.
special steps when cleaning up after rodents. Avoiding contact with or breathing in aerosolized rodent urine or feces, especially in a poorly ventilated area, is key. Detailed guidance can be found on the New Mexico Department of Health and the CDC websites,
Yep.
but I will provide a very brief summary now. It is important to use gloves and a well-fitting N95 mask when around or cleaning rodent-infested areas, and to open any windows or doors for at least 30 minutes beforehand to increase ventilation. Spray the area thoroughly with a 10% bleach solution or a commercial disinfectant. Let it sit for 5 minutes. Next, clean the area with paper towels, then throw them away in a covered garbage can that is regularly emptied. Before removing gloves, wash your gloved hands with soap and water or with a disinfectant, and then after removing gloves, wash your hands again with soap and water. It's important to never sweep up or vacuum mouse droppings, since this can spread particles up into the air. Since hantavirus is found throughout New Mexico, awareness of these risks and how to reduce them is important for all New Mexicans. The New Mexico Department of Health extends our deepest condolences to the families and friends during this difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that'll conclude the statements for today. We will go ahead and take questions. I ask that there be one question per agency, and please state who you're directing the question to, as there's several individuals here at this conference. Sir.
Sheriff, just to
Kinda
clarify
like
the
him.
timeline here, does this mean GENE HACKMAN was likely home with his deceased wife for a week before he passed away himself?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I would assume that is the case.
It'd be like out to be in a movie.
Status that Mr. Hackman was able to live on his own and survive for those 7 days?
I think that's more a question, maybe for Dr. Durrell.
Just to repeat so that everyone could hear, the question was, do we believe that Mr. Hackman was able to live on his own and survive? The answer to that question is that Mr. Hackman showed evidence of advanced Alzheimer's disease. I'm not aware of what his normal daily functioning capability was. He was in a very poor state of health. He had significant heart disease, and I think ultimately that is what resulted in his death. I was able to look at fluid to determine if he was dehydrated, and I did not see evidence of dehydration. I did see evidence of very poor kidney function, and I think he died as a result of his.
Well, either way, if he had Alzheimer's. Oh wait, am I looking? Can y'all see? I hope I have myself on here because I be doing it. Okay, I can't tell. If he had Alzheimer's, he lasted 7 days. How long does it take? How many days can you go without food before you die? Because those people, they not only forget to eat, they forget how to eat. And that sundown and that nighttime, I don't know if y'all have experience with people with Alzheimer's, if you've ever been around them, like it really be, at nighttime, they be different. And it makes a lot of sense too, like the fact that it's like, he probably didn't even know her anymore. She's in the bathroom with the pills on the floor. Those could have been his pills. He doesn't know. Then he was on the ground. He died. He was in the mud room. He had his cane with him. He probably was doing, just pacing, just walking back and forth. Because these people, they be walking. And at nighttime, they just, they are unaware of who they are, where they are, what time it is, what day it is. They don't know. So if I wouldn't, I didn't notice at first, but I automatically, she had to die first. She was gone first, and then he just over time.
His heart disease and with Alzheimer's being that contributing factor.
What about starvation?
The question was, what about starvation? So there was no food in his stomach, which means he had not eaten recently. But
Didn't
he
eat
had
for
also
7 days.
no evidence of dehydration.
He
So
didn't. He
based
wasn't
on
eating.
your understanding of the progression of the Alzheimer's, do you believe that he was possibly not aware that his wife had died or didn't know what to do in that situation?
It's difficult to answer. The question was he aware that Miss Hackman had died? And I think
He
that
wasn't.
question is difficult to
He
answer,
said he
but
didn't
I
know.
can tell you that he was in an advanced state of Alzheimer's,
He didn't
and
know.
it's quite possible that he was not aware that she was deceased.
He didn't
This
know.
is for the sheriff. Considering the circumstances under which Mr. Hackman was found in the mudroom with his walking cane and sunglasses by him, do you think there is a possibility that he was trying to get help for his wife?
No.
That's hard to answer. Again, it's hard to get into the frame of mind of what was happening at the
Who
time.
knows?
And I don't know if we'll ever have the answer to that
Alzheimer's, you're not
question.
gonna know. He wasn't.
Whether
You
he
don't know.
was going to go for help or
He
was
probably.
it? Sure.
Sheriff, are
He
there
could have
any other
been.
big questions?
With Alzheimer's in his head, he could have been back on the set of Crimson Tide. He didn't know. Like he got sunglasses and his cane. He could have probably thought he was 41 years old on the set, like doing a movie. These people is unpredictable. It's unpredictable. You just don't know.
Answer the biggest questions you had about their death in this case. Is there anything else that you're really seeking?
Yeah. So the question is there any other big questions that are left? I think a lot of questions were answered here today. I think there was, Dr. Durrell went over the cause of death, and I think a lot of those questions are answered. I think the timeline that we've been given as far as the pacemaker results and the history and evidence that we found as far as the timeline of Miss Arakawa, I think a lot of the questions have been answered. We are waiting on the cell phones, but I would very unlikely that the cell phones are going to show anything else. Another question?
Sheriff, are there any signs of, what have you learned about Mr. Hackman's communication after February 11th? Did you talk to any friends of his who had spoken with him during that week-long period, or know anything about what he was doing?
So the question is whether there was any communication from Mr. Hackman or activity, and no, at this point, no. I don't know if he used cell phones or technology or emails. There's no indication of that. So right now there is no activity from Mr. Hackman.
I like him. All right, y'all. Mr. Officer. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. If you're in the chat, if you have any questions about any of this, because I gotta wrap it up soon. This hantavirus. Let's talk about that real quick. You get it through contact somehow, some way. They said it wasn't any waste, rodent waste anywhere near the main residence. So they probably got like some pool house. They probably got some workshop. You know, how people have stuff on their property. So they said it was some evidence of I don't want to say infestation because that make it sound like they was hoarding. It was like them things was all over everywhere. Just I feel like this would be like that. Is it just me? So if she could have possibly got it from home, but she did go a lot of places. But this stuff is a big deal, evidently, in New Mexico. You got to be careful. 36 to 50% of people who get this, they pass away. Okay, this is crazy. I had some more information I wanted to share with y'all about these, like the onset. It's like once you come into contact with the stuff, how long does it take? I think it said, well, we can't even say if what she did that day exposed her to it unless she really got some direct contact, because it could be 1 to 2 weeks before it start kind of manifesting itself, and the organs shut down and then you pass away. So who even knows? Then she did go take, they took her dog got a procedure. Was it the same day or was it the day before? I was listening, but I wasn't listening. I'm just still caught up on like the airborne rodent species. So I'm just still stuck on it. I can't, everything I say at this point, I can't get past it. But that's what they got going on in the Southwest. You like, I don't want to see these big sewer rats in New York, or the nutria rats down in New Orleans or South Louisiana, or these gophers, or these deer mice. These deer mice, that's what they got in Southwest. Y'all learn so much on this channel. I didn't even know about this. I be learning too. That's crazy though. This is a virus that you get from mice. Is it safe anywhere out here? I don't know, but it was a lot of hype built up around this, and it did seem like it was going to be like Hollywood true stories. You know, we thought we were going to have something like that, but this is really just like natural. He ended up passing away from, I won't say complications from Alzheimer's and high blood pressure, but it really was Alzheimer's. She didn't want to say that, and you can't say that without any like strict facts, you know, but that's what it was. He wasn't going to survive out here pretty much in the wild. And I wonder why did it take, how often the caretakers come there? What day of the week was the 20, when they found him on the 26th? What day of the week was that? Maybe they don't come every day. The 26th was a Wednesday. Maybe they had him come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. She probably didn't think she needed that much help with him, but you be needing help at home with these people. You know, he's 95 years old. She was 65, 30-year difference. Okay. Okay. You know, she got her old man. Got him a young chick. Okay, that's not important. But guys, what do y'all think? I would say drop your comments in the comment section. Well, drop it in the comment section because I'm getting ready to close down the chat. That's what happened to GENE HACKMAN. Do some research on Hantavirus. And, you know, protect yourself. Take care of yourself. I got to go get my roommate. Hopefully she ain't out here touching on stuff. Them kids be touching on them surfaces, don't they? Wash your hands, guys. That's what we learned from this episode. We should be doing that anyway. But you know, you don't wash your hands all the time, but you need to be washing them because, you know, since Corona, COVID-19, we got to be careful. And we learning about more and more viruses every day, aren't we? Okay, so let's be careful out here with that. Until next time, guys, it really feels weird. I started to come on like after she got out. I was like, I need to go do this real quick and get on out of here. It's always LOVEYOU. I told y'all I know more than those letters. I love y'all. Y'all love me too. All right. Until next time, I'm in NAllenRx. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, whatever. Share these videos. All right. I'm going to see y'all on the next episode. Oh, wait, no. What do I always say? I almost forgot my closing. What do I always say? These what? These prescriptions. They keep piling up, y'all. These phones, they never stop ringing. I'm going to see y'all next time. For real this time. Okay. Good night.